Hey Carl, this is Mike D from the Fittest League. These are your 5 lists from the Winter Weightlifting Throwdown hosted by the Fittest League on February 20th, 2016. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through all 3 snatches here and both clean and jerks. We're going to watch all the snatches first, then I'm going to go back and we're going to look at a couple different things that you can do to really fix that snatch technique. I do know that you were power snatching everything, and that really I think was a result of the shoulder issues that you've had in the past. So given your shoulder issues, I do think obviously we have to work shoulder mobility, but the power snatch might actually be your best bet, just because you won't have to have that high degree of shoulder flexibility that you would if you were in that full catch. And obviously everyone's a little different, and with your shoulder pass, I think what you've done here is a great job. So let's look at all 3 here and we'll go back. Alright Carl, so we're going to rewind you here. You have a very strong pull. You can see that bar is just flying. So I'll just look at this last one here. So when we look here, first and foremost I want to look at your stance that you start in. Some people prefer that wider stance. It really is up to you. The biggest thing I'm looking for is that when you land in the catch, when you're landing overhead in that power snatch kind of catch position, we just want to make sure we're not starfishing the feet. We want to actually have our feet in that overhead squat position, because obviously we're trying to overhead squat it. So if you start too wide in your stance in the start, obviously the feet do jump out. They typically jump out at 1 foot width, which is anywhere between 2 to 3 inches depending on the person. So if you start too wide, you're then going to jump out and you actually might land outside your normal overhead squat stance. So really what I like to look at is first look at the overhead squat stance of people, and then if they are a person that jumps out a lot, we then bring them in so that they can really work on that. And sometimes bringing in the narrower stance allows you to get a little more height on your pole because you're using more of your body weight and height. What I would do here is maybe try and drop the butt a little more and get that chest up a little taller. Make sure your eyes are up, staying over the bar. You have a great pole. As we can see here, we take you up, long arms, keeping that bar tight to the body. Bar comes in, minimal contact, which is fine. And then you get underneath. You can see you do have a wide stance in the catch, but we can work with that, and that might just be a matter of ingraining a little better hip movement in the patterning of the overhead squat. But all in all, some great lifts there, Carl. Strong. So now we're going to go into your clean and jerks. You have 2 here, so I'm going to let them both roll, and then we will analyze the 2 and maybe break down even that back flip.
Let's go, baby! Come on!
So before the finale, let's roll this one back. You're a strong puller, strong squatter, just a strong guy in general. So as you can see, you're kind of cramped up here with your hands, and that might just be the shoulder flexibility thing here. But maybe opening up the grip a little wider, just to allow those knees to kind of open up so you're not crammed up in there. That's really going to affect that jerk. Or maybe just here, once you catch the jerk, maybe trying to kind of pop it off your body as you come out of that front squat, and maybe open up the grip a little bit on that barbell so that you're not as crammed up when you do the jerk. So let's take a slow-mo look at this. Great job. Once again, I'll just make sure you start with your head up, maybe drop the butt a little more. Great pulls. Look at that triple extension. You got the ankles, knees, and hips. Everything's open. Nice long arms. Start to pull yourself under. You kind of catch it there. That's where it's at. You can see the elbows are kind of starting to clap together. Want to make sure that we're spreading the lats, protracting the shoulder blades, getting them to separate there. and just making sure that we get out of that squat strong as you do. So this is where I'm saying if you explode out of that squat, you might be able to jump the bar off about an inch or two, and then you can kind of reset your hands a little wider on the bar. So from here, nice strong dip, you stay vertical, you use your legs, and you get that nice footwork underneath. So we could work on this footwork here. You can see you jam the floor there. You see your hips are kind of twisted up a little bit. When we look at the feet, just want to make sure that this back foot back here, I actually want to be internally rotated or forward, so it's actually kind of pointed out. What that does, that pulls the hip open and it just kind of takes it out of that natural stance position. So that's just going to be just working that split jerk position with the feet, and it's just a new skill. And then making sure that your hips kind of drop right underneath your crotch instead of kind of forward and lunging out in front. That bar just stays right over the center of mass, which should be right in between your legs, right down through the crotch and into the floor. And then obviously it's just a kind of a lunge to absorb. Alright, so we're going to watch the last one here. Same kind of issues as that, but all in all, it's a strong lift. Cleaning things up and really just working on technique and kind of cleaning up the edges, to be able to get it there. So let's take a look here and we'll be out. Alright, Carl, it's pretty awesome to see you do your thing. I want to thank you for all your support for the Fittest League and myself. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and YouTube, and feel free to share this with all your buddies and lifting partners. So, great job, Carl. Great job meeting you, and I look forward to talking more. Take care.